This is Australia's Murray-Darling Basin. Welcome back to the Inspector General's Murray-Darling Basin Education Series. In this chapter, we'll explore the significance of water management in the Murray-Darling Basin during Australia's Federation. In a ceremony in Sydney's Centennial Park on New Year's Day 1901, Australia was officially federated and a new nation was born. It was at this point in history that the powers of the states and territories and the new federal government were decided. These decisions would have an enormous impact on management of basin waters, under a policy that would remain largely unchanged for over a century. Why was the Murray-Darling Basin so important to Australians, and what did Federation have to do with it? In the late 19th century, major discussions about the future of Australia were underway. The central question was whether the states would unite under one nation. And in this context, a key topic of discussion was the control of the Murray and Darling river systems. As Australia's largest river system, the basin has always played an important role in sustaining life on the driest inhabited continent on Earth. It supports diverse habitats of animal, bird and plant life, supplies water and food for millions of people, and sustains First Nations culture and connection to country. But for a long time, it was the subject of significant dispute among the states. And according to some historians, the Murray-Darling Basin was one of the most difficult of all the matters debated and delayed federation. Before 1901, Australia's British colonies, now known as the States and Territories, operated as if they were separate countries. Each colony had its own government and laws, railway and transportation, military forces, and trade tariffs. This arrangement presented many challenges, including the sharing of water between the colonies. With no formal agreement on how much water they were entitled to use or how water should be shared between them, the colonies clashed numerous times in the latter half of the 19th century. The Premier of New South Wales, Sir Henry Parkes, was one of the leading voices urging the colonies to unify. At a conference in Melbourne in 1867, Parkes said, "We say that the time has come when there should be only peace and goodwill and agreement between these great colonies. We seek to break down the barriers which have hitherto divided us." Parkes represented what was known as the Federation movement, a group of people who believed that the unification of the states would increase trade by removing tariffs and borders, create a national defence force, create a more democratic system of government, one where women could vote, and address the control and water flow from the Murray-Darling river systems. Federation was a clear opportunity to create a fair and equitable plan for the use of water from the Murray-Darling river systems. What supporters of Federation did not know was that a severe weather event and its impact on the already harsh Australian climate would make this even more imperative. In the 1880s and 1890s, southeastern Australia was affected by numerous droughts. These had a devastating impact on life for Australians, causing river levels to drop and halting boat navigation and trade along the Darling and Murray rivers. These tough conditions spurred discussions among the colonies about the use of water from the Murray and Darling. Despite consensus that the use of water was an important issue, it proved near impossible for the colonies to agree to meet and discuss the issue in person. It was during this time that the seeds of antagonism between the colonies were sown. In 1895, a severe drought took hold, impacting river systems across the nation, but particularly in eastern Australia. Now known as the Federation Drought, it has been labelled the worst drought in Australian recorded history. The drought was so severe, it caused parts of the Murray and Darling rivers to run dry. The basin system, with its interconnected rivers, lakes and wetlands, was essential for agriculture, trade, communities and employment. Without water, farmers struggled to grow their crops and feed their livestock. Many abandoned their land because they could not meet the cost of feeding their cattle. In the course of the drought, more than 52 million sheep died. The cattle population was reduced by 40%. As farmers struggled, so too did Australians in towns and cities. Food was in short supply and prices soared. The drought recognised no borders and arguably forged a sense of community and shared adversity across the colonies. At the 1897 and 1898 federal conventions, elected representatives from the colonies met to develop a constitution that would unite them as one nation. One of the major issues debated was the right to use the waters from the Murray and Darling rivers. The colonies were concerned Federation would cause them to lose control over this precious resource. In the midst of the devastating drought, Australia officially became a federation on January 1, 1901. The first Governor-General, Lord Hopetoun, appointed Edmund Barton as the first Prime Minister. Both the colonies and Australian people looked to the new Commonwealth for a resolution to the water crisis. However, Federation did not bring the resolution they were hoping for. The government held no powers over water ownership or usage.
This meant there was no national plan for addressing the drought, which lasted until 1903. The Commonwealth believed it was the responsibility of the states and refused to lower taxes to help farmers feed their animals. The first years of Australia's nationhood were overshadowed by the harsh conditions of the climate and the disputes over rights to water, and this would continue well into the 20th century.